Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Jasmy Coin's price chart. And unfortunately, the bearish possibility that we talked about in the previous video, I'm going to tell you basically to the T played out. You see, if you remember, the last time that we talked about Jasmy, we were right around this area, and the idea was that there's like a very high chance this is a 5 wave down, this initial phase, followed by probably an A, B, C, D, E, a triangle structure, and at least we should count on having yet another move on the downside, preferably in form of a 5 wave. And we said two very important points. Number one, we said if you want to be bullish in Jasmy, after having this move down, you want to see a move on the upside in order to, if I just hide everything, as you can see, take this important high about 1.1 cents, because that is going to sort of kind of confirm, yes, this is an ABC zigzag, and our move on the upside, hopefully from here, is going to continue. And unfortunately, as you can see, we did not take this important high. On the other hand, we said under any kind of circumstances, if you want to remain optimistic, at least in the short term in Jasmy Coin, and you want to call this thing your final low, you do not want to see a move down in order to take this important low down here about 0.95 of a cent, because that is unfortunately pretty much going to be the confirmation that yes, you are having in here from the lows to about the highs, the sub waves for, you know it, an A, B, C flat structure. And from this point, you can expect a continuation of our move down in Jasmy. And well, as you can see, that scenario pretty much played out. And the moment that we got our move down and took this low, our move down actually accelerated a little bit. Question is, number one, when can we say maybe in Jasmy our move down is finished? Number two, what are the structures in here looking like? And for that matter, are we actually even close to reach to our final low? Well, I think it's actually best to talk about, first things first, what is going on in terms of technical analysis, meaning support and resistances. Let's just do this. Okay, so as you can see, in Jasmy Coin, we have this unbelievably important support area, which is from weekly and daily time frame. At the same time, between 0.94 of a cent to about 0.999, let's say basically 1 cent region. Now, it's very important to understand that this support actually matters from two very important perspectives. Number one, this is from weekly and daily time frame, and breaking it is not really going to lead to a whole lot of good structures in here. Point number two, the reason for why I care about this so much is that under here, we really do not have a whole lot of strong support. And God forbid, if we get a break of this thing, our move down at that point, who knows, if we are not that lucky, might continue. And in that phase, we may reach to the next important level, which is actually a wide cluster of support areas between, let's say, 0.46 to about 0.477 of a cent. So let's say at least we are going to reach to about the higher band of this important region. And even that one is like, yes, probably like around an 18 to 20% move on the downside, which is really not ideal. Now, why did I say earlier, if we get a break of this thing, am I blind? And doesn't this count as a beautiful pitch perfect break? Actually, no. You see, if you want to say that, for instance, this support region is broken, number one, you have to go on the time frame that this support is from, and in our case, it's weekly charts, and then you must see at least one candle close under here, followed by that a slow and choppy pullback, and then a continuation of the move down in order to take this low. Question, do we have this in Jasmy or not? I can actually right away tell you, nope, we do not have that. Why? Let's summon more. Okay, so as you can see, in the previous candlestick in Jasmy, we actually closed even above the higher band of this region, and it's actually the current candle that we are sort of kind of having the closing point of it under this level. However, this candle actually opened today. Okay, you need to actually be a bit more patient, let's say for about 6 to 7 days, and see a candle close under here. Even at that point, I'm telling you, this support is not going to be officially broken. You need to see then a pullback and then a continuation of the move down. So the fact that right now in like very short time in the last 12 hours we have been under this level doesn't necessarily mean that we have broken it. It sure as hell, let me tell you that, it's not a good sign, but again, it's not really the end of the world. Now, back to our first question. What are the structures in here looking like, and are we able to still find a correction structure? Well, here's the situation. For that matter, I think I'm only able to find a correction, and I still actually want to stick with my argument suggesting that in Jasmy, probably in this crashing event, we have hit our final low. And I know this is from trading view, and the lowest low in Jasmy is not actually somewhere around here. I think it was somewhere around these areas, about 0.6 of a cent. And even with that in mind, I do think that this is hopefully going to be 5 up into 1, and this is a correction for wave 2. And what's next? Good move up into wave 3, 4, 5. So this move down must be a correction structure, and I think again I'm only able to find a correction here. Why? Because as you can see, we just constantly have between our pullbacks up overlapping of the waves, and that is like a very clear sign of a corrective movement. And I am right now even considering this move down, actually thinking about something like maybe having a zigzag followed by a double zigzag. You see, in my view, this move down right in here in Jasmy can be in form of, now I'm going to argue, probably an ABC zigzag as opposed to something like a double zigzag structure. There we go. Followed by that, we definitely now had this ABC in form of a flat structure, and believe it or not, I still do believe that this is an ABC zigzag and not a 5 wave off of the highs. Honestly, this is basically the best that I can come up with. Humor me a little bit. Now, here is where things get maybe a little bit complicated, because I think after that ABC that I showed you, we are actually having something called an ABC in form of a running flat, and that one looks like this. This is our initial move up into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this initial low and then a rather good move up into C, and in it we are not going to take the height of our wave A. And for our sub waves, I think if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you know it. ABC up into A, ABC down into B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into C. Let's go now on the live chart. Okay, so you see, my main argument for why I think this whole structure is an ABC running flat actually comes down to this specific move up, because I think if you just ignore the shadows in here, you might be able to say, look, isn't this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside, excuse me, possibly a leading diagonal, something like this? And the answer, honestly, probably yes. Now, if this is going to be a 5 wave up, then okay, before that, what do we have in here? I'm willing to say this was actually an ABC in form of a zigzag down. This is most likely an ABC on the upside. And what do you have? Probably from this point, an ABC running flat, something like this. And let's just delete the sub waves. Okay, so far we said this is ABC down followed by a running flat up. And what is going on from this point moving forward? I think we are having an ABC in form of a zigzag structure. Now, in a zigzag, in terms of the sub waves, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into A, correction for wave B. Let's consider an ABC in here, doesn't really matter honestly. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into C, and also inside of our wave 1, 3, and 5, right around this area, we should also have 5 waves on the downside. Now, I think there is actually a very good chance that in Jasmy, in this initial phase down from the highs, we are having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. Probably I'm gonna say to about this point and not the lowest low. Followed by that, this is a correction up, maybe an ABC or preferably actually a WXY structure. And what's happening right now? I'm thinking about maybe, excuse me, let's just say this one. Yes, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. And well, okay, I don't really have good news for you, because I think this white 5 wave is going to be into this wave 3, And what's next? Maybe correction for 4 and another move on the downside into wave 5. So the news, at least for like the next couple of days, may not necessarily look good, but again, I'm not here to make it look good for you guys. I'm here to show you what I think, and based on my primary scenario, odds are our move down in Jasmy for the next week, I'm going to say, is probably going to continue. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't really care about a continuation of this move down for the next couple of days. What I do care about ultimately is this unbelievably important support area, which again, you want to remember is from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, okay? God forbid, if we manage to get a confirmed break of this thing, at that point, you can expect two things. Number one, you can expect the next time that we go around here, actually a very strong rejection. And number two, you can expect even if you want to say that soon we are going to be back above this level, that phase you can expect to take some considerable time, and basically you are going to have some boring price action in Jasmy, and I fully get it. That's not really what you want to see, especially at this time of the cycle, because when you go on Twitter, you are immediately going to realize that people are absolutely furious with what is going on with the whole crypto market right now. But trust me, these are actually the times when we usually hit the lows. So overall in Jasmy, I still like to be optimistic, and I do like to say most likely this is a WXY in form of a zigzag followed by a double zigzag. I know the structures in here are absolutely complicated, but trust me, this is the best that I can come up with. And based on this thing, our move down for the next couple of days can continue, but then we should probably have some sort of a bounce. And when we get this thing, we are again going to make new updates and see what the structures in here looking like, and are we actually able to say, you know what, yep, this is it, our final low. Hopefully we are, and I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Jasmy. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.